mindset. There's a little thing going around. If we can go, there we are in this button. If you can read this slide right here, we're going to be talking about video today, and we have a very, very special guest that's streaming from Beverly Hills, California. But before we get up, wait, I want to read this screen, this slide. The play button is the most compelling call to action on the web. If given a choice when you're on the web, what would you prefer, to read 2 pages or a 1-minute video with the same information? What would you prefer? What's easier to do when you're out and about driving? Right. So are we doing that to promote our business? Are we doing still pictures, or are we creating a more interesting experience for our audience, for our business? Are we doing that? So this has been around for a long time, and I'm really excited to have our guest speaker today. Go on to the next slide, because I can't wait to get him on. Is he on? So we have Christophe Choo, and I have to say, when I was a rookie, I remember Christophe Choo. I think the word influencer was created because of Christophe Choo. That's just why I feel, because he was an influencer when the word wasn't really that type of word that we look at it today, because he's a pioneer on what it is to really step out of the box, to really have that mindset of no limits, to really have that mindset of what can I do to develop all the time. So today we have him here, and he is the #1 real estate video influencer in North America since 2018. Real Trends of America's best real estate agent. Christophe, how are you?
Hey, how are you? Nice to see my friends in Miami.
I'm going to tell you, Christophe Choo is a mover and shaker in Beverly Hills, California. He's with our Coldwell Banker office in California, and Christophe is going to be talking to us today on what he does and how he has not really thought twice about when he first made that video, and he hasn't changed that ever since. Christophe, how are you?
Hi, Michael. How are you? And hello to all my friends in beautiful Miami.
How are you? I'm sure we're a lot hotter here and steamier than you are.
Well, that's Miami at this time of year.
Can we enlarge him? Great. So, Christophe, I wanted to ask you a couple of things. So you have been doing video for quite some time.
Yes, I have.
So there was that first time that you were in front of the camera.
I can't hear you.
What caused you to get in front of the camera?
Good question. It's actually the first time I was on camera was for a property I had. This is back in 2006, maybe 2007. It was a $30 million listing here in Los Angeles, which was at the time one of the highest priced homes ever on the market. And it was for a TV show. So that was really my first time doing a video. I was probably a little tiny bit nervous, but not much, because I always felt whether the camera's there or not there, I'm on stage every day with my clients face to face, so didn't make a difference. But it was 2007, so that's quite a while ago now.
I mean, that's amazing. 2007, when you think about it, I don't even know if I knew video was a possibility in 2007.
And then my first personal video was in 2008 or 2009. You guys all know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, right? The expert guy. So he said to me, you got to be a DJ for content in your community. And I'm always willing to try and test things. So I went out that afternoon. It was at a conference in Palm Desert, and I bought my first flip video camera. You guys ever heard of a flip video camera? Probably not. Bought my first camera, bought a tripod, did my first video on the balcony of the hotel back in 2008. So it's been quite a long progression of videos.
So do you think the part of the country that you exist probably helped you in creating videos?
I think you can create videos anywhere you are. I mean, I can go to anywhere in the world and make fun, interesting videos. So it doesn't really matter where you are. And look, you guys are in Miami. Miami is one of the coolest, hottest, funnest, hippest cities in the country, in the world. So yeah, but I don't think it matters where you are to do it. If I was in Kalamazoo, wherever, if that even exists, I could make fun videos.
So when you were creating your first video content, did you think you had to do a full-fledged production? And do you feel like you have to have a completely full-fledged, video production crew and all that stuff? Well, how do you feel about all that stuff?
That's a really, really good question. A lot of agents are afraid to do videos for various reasons. They're afraid they don't look good, or they're going to say the wrong thing, or they're nervous, or what have you. So my first videos were TV shows, actually on television. So and I was also a cast member of Selling LA for 3 seasons on HGTV. So I learned from the professionals, meaning being a cast member of a TV show with a big crew and makeup people and lighting people and sound people. I really learned, and I always learned, like you talked earlier about the growth mindset. I've always had the growth mindset. Everyone I meet, I can learn from. So when I do Entertainment Tonight or Extra with Michael Corbett or this show or that show, I go there, it's a long day of shooting or however many hours, and I watch them. I learn from them. What are their mannerisms? How do they go on camera? How do they turn themselves on and off? So I'm always learning about how to do videos, but I personally do prefer and love the high production videos. You hire a crew, all that stuff, and make it look really pretty and beautiful. However, that's not what the consumer wants. Whenever I list a property, we do the high production video tours with the production company. And also we do my iPhone camera videos, and I have somebody edit it now. And the consumers want the real deal. Even Jill Hertzberg, I saw one of her recent videos. She's kind of doing the same thing. She's just having someone follow her, walking through her $35 million Miami listing. That's what buyers want. And so like lately, we're doing more of what I call MTV style, back from the 80s, where, like MTV Cribs. You guys remember that? Guy just follows you around, you walk him around, not really much editing. And that's more fun, it's more interesting, and it's more real. So I do both, but to me, the natural ones are more fun and what the buyers and consumers want.
I can, Jill Hershberg wants to know if you hear her.
Oh, I cannot hear. Hey, Jill. I didn't know you were in the audience.
Hey, Christophe.
Hey,
How are
sweetie.
you?
How are you?
I'm great. I'm just going to tell my office something about you. Is probably, what year did you start doing the videos?
2007, 2008.
So we went to a convention and he was there, and he was the first person doing videos. And you were on the stage with Hillary. I think Hillary had been in the
Yep.
business for about an hour and a half. And she was probably crying. And I told her, oh, that's normal. You'll cry your first couple years. And he was so incredible. He used to get in his car and we were all like, what are you doing? And you would put up that little camera and he would drive around neighborhoods and just talk about it. He didn't have to know everything. And it was like, you felt like, oh, wow, that's what LA is. And that's where Rodeo Drive, and that's where the homes are that we can afford or we can't. And he was so natural and normal and always dressed to the nines and so charming and so able to share. So we paid attention. And I miss you. Big kiss.
Me too,
okay?
honey. And I just saw your recent video where you were doing kind of that MTV style tour. You're walking on the dock of that new Miami listing. And I love that. I mean, it shows you, it shows your personality, and it's a very natural thing. I call it a virtual showing where you're literally on camera showing someone the house. So
Yeah.
I applaud you for doing that.
Everyone can do it, especially if I can do it. You can do it.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you. Thank you. This is great. I'm loving this.
I didn't know Jill was in the audience today.
Well, guess what? She is front and center. So I have another question for you. What would you tell an agent? And I know the answer, but I want to address these agents because I have a lot of agents that I'm just saying, get on video, do something. I actually always send videos out instead of emails
Yep.
And I've gotten some criticism from agents, very few. I mean, I have 300 and something agents. Maybe one or two have said, why does he have to send a video instead of just writing? Well, you know what? Does anybody appreciate a video versus a lot of writing? Raise your hand if you do. Great. All right. So to the people that don't appreciate my videos, I'm sorry, they're going to continue. But and I don't watch them back, by the way, I don't like to watch them back. But what would you say to that agent that has a problem with getting a video because all their ducks are not in a row, all the stars are not aligned, because that's the objections that I'm getting. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna start doing videos, and these are very talented agents. No, I'm gonna get this, I gotta get that, I gotta get this. And I have some agents literally waiting about a year and a half just to get their first shoot, just to get the first video. We have an iPhone, we have iPhones, we have iPads, we have, what do we have, iMovies, all that stuff. Like, what do you say to that agent who is just waiting to get that full production media film crew? What do you say to the person just about the iPhone or an iPad?
So first of all, my question to them is, do they want to live in the fear of how they look or being perfect on a video, which will equate to them losing, particularly in Miami, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars? What if you were to shoot a video that wasn't great, wasn't high production, but someone saw that video, they like your personality, they like that you're real, they pick up the phone, they call you, and they buy a $5 million, $10 million, $15 million house in Miami? What would you rather do? Live in the fear or live with the money from the check from the closing? You can't live in fear. I mean, I'm always a tester and a trier. Look, I'd never done a video personally, and I just thought, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it and see what happens with it. And you can't live in fear. You got to, I mean, if they don't want to do it, they're living in a death mindset, not a growth. It's a death mindset, because if you're not learning and growing, you're dying. So they got to just get over that, or just decide to live with the income they have forever.
I love it. Love it. Tell it like it is. So what's the single most important technology right now? Follow up with that question that we can use today, and why?
It's the phone. That's all it is. These phones are more powerful than computers were when they came out 20 years ago, right? There's nothing more valuable than phone. And over the last, God, however many years I've been doing videos, I have bought probably 9 or 10 different types of video cameras. I'd have the SLR video cameras, I'd have the flip cameras, I'd have the Sony camera, I'd have all of them. And it was a big deal to carry them and all this stuff. Now I just carry my phone. It's so simple. I have a, hold on. I have a wireless microphone that I bring with me that can go in my pocket. That's all I need. And this takes better videos than a very expensive SLR. And most of my non-professional videos are one take, one shot, one run through, and then somebody edits them, puts a bumper in the back and the end, and that's it. It's really simple.
That's great. And do you have to get a sophisticated person to do the editing, or just any good millennial that has a little knowledge of technology?
I would say that. I mean, I have different companies and resources that do edit my videos. I mean, some of the people that I work with actually do TV shows, like big time national TV shows. So when they're off, they can work for me doing some of my video editing. But my assistant does it. I am not a video editor at all. I tried once or twice just for the fun of it. It's not me. It's a waste of time. I mean, it would take me 2-3 hours to try to edit something, and it looked terrible. And I focus my efforts on what I'm good at, and it's not video editing. So just, you can go to Fiverr. You can, hire a young kid in your office. Go on Craigslist and say, we're looking for someone, 5 hours a week to do part-time video editing for us. And then, interview them, vet them out, and hire one. Yeah, but some agents I know do all their own video editing, and they're great. So it just depends on what floats your boat.
Wow, that was good. That was actually good information. It's all good information. So if you could do it all again with the time that you have, like your experience that you have, is there something that you would do differently?
I would say specifically in the video realm, the one thing I have not done yet is hire a full-time videographer. That's what I have to do. Have someone full-time, 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week, to kind of follow me. And there's a lot of content that I can create, but I'm just busy doing my work, that I don't have time to really schedule and do a video. So I would say hiring a full-time videographer, if we're talking specifically about video marketing.
That's very interesting, actually. I wasn't expecting that answer, But that makes a lot of sense because, everyone, they know what our life is like and they know what we do, to, show properties, to managing the transaction, to how cool would it be to manage the whole inspection process, right? And how that, how all that stuff happens. Go ahead.
Well, part of winning the game in the world of video, since that seems to be our key topic today, is educating the consumer. I mean, we're all on social media, we're all on our phones all day long. 80% of the time, we're looking on our phones. What's going to capture someone's attention? What can you do to offer value to a buyer that's thinking of buying a vacation apartment in Miami or a big house that's coming from South America or coming from Germany or from Europe or from New York? So what can you do and create in terms of content? As Jill mentioned, I mean, talk about all of the different neighborhoods in Miami, the different islands, the different buildings, the different shopping districts and the restaurants, and what's the difference between South Beach versus, this island and that island. I mean, that when you educate coming from a place of sharing and helping, you will automatically attract the right clients.
Right. So do you script your videos?
Never.
I knew the
Never
answer.
scripted. Even on TV shows, never. I mean, my shows that I were on were not scripted shows, so they were all unscripted.
And you find that's easier, right?
Oh, absolutely. I've tried a couple of times on different shows. They tried to have me do a script, and I just told the producer, I said, I'm not doing that. I'm not a script. And I've even tried where they have the script running on the screen. That's just not for me. I take some time to think about what the next scene is or the next segment or whatever we're talking about. But yeah, scripting is just, some people really need a script and want a script. And if that's for you, then that's what you do. But it's just not something that's in my realm and that I enjoy or like or want to do.
Well, that resonates with me because I'm not good with scripts. I totally get it. I rather improvise. So how do you differentiate yourself from the competition in your market?
First, I don't think of it as competition. They are just other agents in my community. You differentiate yourself by being yourself. I don't need to be like, oh, I've got to better this or better that. It's, getting a client to work with you is about them liking you, trusting you, and wanting to work with you. It's not about, and differentiating you. People want to work with people that are like themselves. I mean, the clients that I have that are my best clients are people that we have a lot of commonality, a lot of similar interests and similar ways of being, similar lifestyles. So it's not about changing who I am. It's being who you are, the best you can be, sharing that, and you will naturally attract those kinds of clients to you.
Right. How many follows do you have on YouTube?
My YouTube, I think, is about 36,000 followers on YouTube.
Not bad. Do you find that helpful for your business?
Absolutely. Yeah, I've done a lot of business from YouTube, a lot. It took 4 years before I did my first deal from YouTube. And Tom Ferry, my coach, I would talk to him every week. I'm like, Tom, I keep doing videos. I haven't monetized it, right? Because if you do something in business, and you spend money, you want to monetize it. So he kept saying, Christophe, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I'm like, oh God, year after year. And finally I got that first magical call, and that first magical call, we did $26 million in deals over 90 days from that first video client.
Well worth the wait, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm curious about something. Are all your videos real estate related?
Oh no.
For your audience?
Nope. It's all over the board. I mean, I share what's important to me and what's in my heart. It could be an emotional feeling I'm having about a situation. It could be my dogs, could be traveling. It could be going on a helicopter in Dubai. It could be showing properties in Dubai. It's anything and everything that I feel I want to share. That's what I do videos about. When I say I don't care what people think, it's true. I really don't care. Again, when I share things, particularly from the heart, that means something to me, it seems to resonate with others. And if it doesn't, that's okay. They're not the right client for me. So yeah, I don't think there's any content that's really not appropriate for YouTube, except for, not appropriate content.
They won't allow it on there anyway. So I had a coaching session, I don't know, this is actually happens a lot in the coaching sessions. You know, some of us try, and I'm guilty of this as well, on the social media platforms, where we try to kind of just build this persona of our professional self. And my advice, and I want to know from you as an agent, because I was an agent for 22 years, and I realized late that that probably wasn't the best thing that I could have done. So what I'm now doing in my coaching with agents is saying, you need to be yourself, whatever that self is, because people want to do business with people that are real. So what would you say to that? And can you elaborate on that?
That's a really, really good point. So, you know, I've always liked to, I was a fashion model and in the fashion industry before I got into real estate. So clothing and fashion was always important to me. So I've always liked to dress well. I'm also in Beverly Hills. And years ago, I remember I was at a speaking convention and someone said, yeah, I thought you were some flashy, bougie Beverly Hills broker. I didn't even know what bougie meant. I had to search it on the Urban Dictionary. And I thought, but they said, now that I've met you, you're really down home, down to earth, and a real person. I think that's what they said specifically. So, and I'm always cognizant of what people may perceive me. And it's all about perception. I mean, you may be this way, but people perceive you as why. So people see me in flashy cars in Beverly Hills, at parties and restaurants and jewelry and fancy clothes. So they might think, oh, he could be a stuck-up, bougie Beverly Hills broker. So I'm cognizant of that. So I try to do the opposite of that and show that that's really not who I am. That may be your perception, but that's not who I am. So over the last few years, I've done pictures of myself wiping. I go to a showing and like the mirror in the bathroom looks dirty. So I'll have my assistant, I take a bottle of Windex and I take a picture of me cleaning the mirror with the Windex, sweeping cleaning out the leaves in the pool. I do that, and people really, really, I'll get many more likes and comments on that than my fancy photos. Because people like, especially for me, they like to see me, oh, he's a real person. Oh, he's not what I thought. So don't ever worry about that. Just be yourself. And the more you share of yourself naturally, I think the more people like it. 2 weeks ago, I had a situation where a client was not following my advice, and I was really frustrated because by not following my advice, they lost a lot of money in a deal. Anyways, I won't go into the story. And I decided to do a video about it. I kept saying, should I do it? Should I not do it? It was late afternoon. I was tired. I just turned the camera on. I didn't look so good. I shot it myself, and it was a 1-minute video. And I just basically said, what's the one of the things that's most bothersome to me in real estate? It's clients who don't follow your advice. And I just talked for a minute about, you go to a doctor, you go to a lawyer, you go to a mechanic, you follow their advice. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what medical things are. I certainly don't know about cars. If a mechanic says do X, Y, Z, that's what he's going to do. And I said, my biggest frustration is clients not following my advice. And I said, those that do really, really well in real estate. Those that don't, they get messed up. So that video, I just put it online. I had so many comments and so many people from all industries saying, I feel the same thing. They feel connected. They feel I was honest and real. And I think when people feel connected to you and like, God, he's like me, or he has the same issues I have, they're going to be more likely to send you a referral, more likely to want to be friends with you. So yeah, just say it like it is. And when you feel it, just shoot the video, post it. If you don't like it after it's posted, delete it. It's, it can be deleted.
That was really great. That's like almost an instructional video you probably did. Am I on mute? One other question. Did you always work in the luxury market, or is it something you transitioned to, or did you ever deviate from at any point in your career from luxury?
So that's a really good question. Most people thought I was born from a rich family in Beverly Hills and was handed, luxury real estate on a silver platter. Nothing can be further from the truth. I was born from very humble parents. I lived on the east side of town in an area called Echo Park, Silver Lake when I was young. And when I got into real estate at 18 years old, I wanted to work in an area called Los Feliz, because I was living at home with my parents and I wanted to work close to the office. They wouldn't hire me. So I went to the next office at Coldwell Banker, which was in Hancock Park. I started working there. In the beginning of my career, the first year I sold one property for $43,000. Then I started doing some business. I was there for maybe 6-7 years. And when I left, I was doing quite a number of deals, but my average price was about 232,000. But my heart and soul and the life I had started to create for myself by vision was in Beverly Hills. And I knew I needed to be in Beverly Hills because where I was in Hancock Park at the time, the top end price range was like 1.5, 2.5, maybe 3 million. But Beverly Hills at that time was probably 10 or 15 million. So I thought I'm going to be in a better place. So when I was given the opportunity to come work in the Beverly Hills office, I didn't even hesitate. I packed up my bags, left the next morning, and came to Beverly Hills. And the first year was rough because it was a transition from lower end houses to higher end houses. And that's kind of how it started. And then I just started building my network here and, working here and being part of the lifestyle and started building my business. So obviously now my price range is much different, but it was as simple as physically moving, but my mind, body, and soul were already in the luxury market. I just wasn't physically there for 5-6 years.
So you're a professional of vision.
Yes.
You created that vision. Let me just ask you
Always.
something, and this is a curveball, but I want to ask you. So you know about all this mindset stuff. It seems like, the way you referred to it. Do you believe in this whole mindset stuff?
Oh, I don't believe it. It's my life. It's been my life since I was 15 years old.
Do you have a moment in your day, some ritual that you practice? Whether it's meditation, prayer, whatever that is, what is your ritual to help you achieve your goals? If you don't mind sharing that, that's kind
Absolutely.
of a personal question. If not, I'll share mine.
Yeah. So there are multiple things I do throughout the day, depending on the time of day. So first thing in the morning when I get to the office, quite early, I have a little journal where I write down all the things that are bothering me, anything that's on my mind. A deal that went south, a client that we're no longer working together. So whatever's on my mind that's negative, I write it down. Then I write down all the things I'm grateful for, and then I write down my intentions. That's the first thing. Then at 9 o'clock every morning, I have an affirmation partner. So I have different ones around the country. So we talk at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's usually 3-4 minutes to myself, 3-4 minutes on their side, and we basically verbalize to each other on the phone affirmations. So we just, Can you mute yourself, whoever that is?
Yeah. Let me work on that.
Yeah. So
Marisela, can you mute your mic, please?
And I have affirmations actually in my office. On the wall.
I'm sorry, Christophe.
Okay.
All right, we're muted.
Yes, so I have affirmations on the wall in my office, and every day I do those. And I do a particular visualization, which I haven't done on video yet because I'll be honest, I'm a little, not fearful, but a little bit apprehensive of sharing this little technique that I use, where literally I stand, when I do it on the phone, usually I stand with my eyes closed and I picture and I say, I'll just walk it through you very, very briefly. I release and let go of any negativity, fears, worries, concerns, anger, resentment, anything that's not of a positive nature. I pull all that negativity up from my toes, up through my legs and my knees and my ankles, up through my back and up through my fingers, up through my arms, to my shoulders, up through my neck. And I let all that negativity and steam out of my head, just like steam coming out of a train. I can feel all that negativity just simply releasing out of my body and dissipating into the air like steam. And now I focus on love, gratitude, peace, abundance, and prosperity for myself and all those around me. That's one of my first affirmations on my call every day. And because it's so natural to me, but I first of all got to let go, because we all have stress, upsetment, anger, whatever that is, sadness. My father passed away a couple of weeks ago, so I've had sadness that I don't usually have. So I have to clear my body and space from all that negativity that's pent up naturally in our blood vessels and our muscles. And I let it go, and then my body is free and clear to be open to the good energy that's out there and for a good positive day. So that's, and then at night, every night when I go to bed, whether it's 11 o'clock, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, I do a guided visualization meditation. Meditating myself quietly is very tough for me. I have a hard time shutting my mind down. So I do a guided meditation, and I've got quite a few of them where I just double headsets, lay down, I hold crystals in my hand and I lay down for an hour and I do a guided meditation every night. So those are the 3 of the rituals I do during the day or through the day.
Christophe, first of all, my condolences for your father's passing.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for sharing that personal piece of information about you. I just wanted to let you know, and I just took over the Miami Beach office a little less than 2 months ago. And my other office knows that my very first part of business coaching is mindset and all this stuff, because I make sure that their mind is on right, and go over what possible morning routines or some sort of routines that they can use to just, get things off their mind, and so that they can have a good mind for business. So I don't do any type of coaching unless we go into the mindset. So that's really important. And thank you so much for just confirming that everything that I've been coaching with my agents, and no wonder the agents are much more successful now, because that stuff is out of their way and the cobwebs are clearing from their minds, because we all could use a little bit of that. Thank you so much. Can you share one of your favorite videos or any video with us? Do you have the ability to do that?
Like now?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Or,
I mean,
or
yeah, actually, I probably could. Let me just.
Or maybe email Miguel one of those links or something, so we can just stream it here. Do we have the ability to do that? Does anybody want to see a video? Okay.
Let me just see if I can find one real quick. Hold on. My computer's got a lot of different pages and things. Sorry about that. So it'll take me a second to get to my YouTube. My YouTube channel is always here, so it's always, well, usually it's there. Let me just find one. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I'm just gonna just pull it up since it just came top of mind. Here we go. Oops.
See if the sound's going to work for you.
Now this was a high production video. Oh, sorry, this was a TV show version. Sorry. Actually, you can watch this. I mean, it's not my production, but my production's almost.
We're getting started with friend of the show, Christophe Choo, at an estate in Beverly Hills.
Oops.
This European-style villa transports you to another world the moment you enter the gates. It sits on expansive grounds that are both bucolic and whimsical. Inside, you'll find a home filled with opulent detail that mix effortlessly with modern amenities. And with 8 bedrooms, you can invite everyone to share in the fun at this sprawling, nearly 27,000 square foot home.
Hi, I'm Christophe Choo with Coldwell Banker Global Luxury in beautiful Beverly Hills, California. And here today I'm taking a magical tour of one of the most coveted and the largest estate ever to come on the market in the flats of Beverly Hills. 1.68 acres, over 26,000 square feet, anything you could ever want and more in this magical estate we call Maison 808. Let me take you on inside. Choo-choo! When I first came and experienced this incredible property, I was immediately excited to see the incredible 19th century crystal French chandelier. Not only that, the beautiful wrought iron work and the matching leaded glass windows and ceilings tied it all in together, offering beauty and old world elegance. It welcomes you and it leads you into the grand salon. Shall we? With a brief walk down the hall, you're instantly transported into a magnificent display of color and opulence. The bisymmetrical design was intended to create multiple sitting and lounge areas for you and your guests to sit, have intimate conversations, and sip champagne. For those of you who enjoy music, there's an area for piano playing overlooking the beautiful gardens. I love this room. It's the perfect start to any event. And when the time is right, dinner is served. This home was designed with both large-scale and intimate entertaining in mind. The dining room is exquisite. It has incredible natural light, the picture window overlooking the beautiful manicured grounds and gardens, the Fortuny silk walls, and the incredible and luxurious fireplace. It's a warm environment, and whether you're having an intimate dinner or a big dinner, it's the perfect place to enjoy and entertain all of your wonderful friends and family. After a sumptuous gourmet dinner, the library is the perfect spot for a cigar and a glass of cognac. So let's go out and check it out. The library truly is a wonderful refuge, a great place to sit down, Relax and gather your thoughts. The wood details, the high ceilings, the rich colors and dark tones of the library are truly a nurturing environment. A great spot to free your mind, do some business, or simply enjoy a great book by the fireside. Once you're done with work in the office, you'll want to loosen up a bit, and this house has tons of entertainment spaces. Whether you're playing billiards with the guys or watching some football with the family, this room is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to being a kid again and having fun. Additionally, this home comes with an all-inclusive home theater, and it's big enough to make all of your neighbors jealous. Plush leather seating for you and your guests provide a comfy place to kick back and watch your favorite movies. When you're ready for the beautiful Southern California weather, you have to head on outside. With a pool area like this, you'll never want to leave your own private paradise. Slide down the water slide or relax in the jacuzzi. There's so much to see and do. The grounds include a fountain courtyard, a beautiful pergola, and full-size tennis court, to name a few. And the pièce de résistance are the 2 trains. And for today, this one's mine. Thanks for watching, and see you all real soon.
That was fantastic. Absolutely
wasn't my
fantastic. My
personal
favorite part
production.
was the train. Christophe Choo.
Uh-oh, let me hold on.
Beautiful Beverly Hills, California.
Turn that sound
It's
off.
March the 7th. It's
There we go.
Loved that.
And the interesting thing was that was totally non-scripted. I've done many segments for that particular show. The Jills have done many segments as well. And
Right.
I just said, this is the flow. This is how we should do it. They liked it and they did it. So again, no scripting, no real game plan, although I did have in my mind a plan of how I wanted to show that house, and that's what we did.
Christophe, give us 1 second. We just had a little technical problem right now. Does anybody have any questions for Christophe?
It's just the review.
Okay.
The meeting is still going.
But we can't hear.
Michael, can you hear me?
Does anyone have any questions for Christophe?
And Michael, I have to go in about 3
Nope.
minutes. I have a 9 o'clock another meeting. So
He has to leave in 3 minutes. He has another meeting.
Okay. Well, you know what, Christophe, can we hear? Can we hear you?
Yeah, he
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Somebody asked
I can
where,
hear you. I
somebody
can hear you.
asked where, if somebody wants to start, where do you start?
you start with, so my final thought for you today is start right now, take your phone, do the reverse image and do a quick video. And just for the fun of it, just talk about to your real estate friends what you learned today and what you're going to do to implement this in your business. Try that. And don't be fearful.
Wonderful, Christophe. Well, we won't take any more of your time. Thank you so much. This was so valuable. I don't know what I just did. So valuable. Your time with us was so valuable. I totally appreciate you and so glad that you're a part of the family. And listen, you have a home with anyone here whenever you want to visit.
Wonderful. I'll see you guys in Miami soon. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, take care. Have a wonderful
care.
day and thank you so much. Round of applause. There's a lot of applause for you right now. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. So it's right around 11 o'clock. So I just wanted, I'm not going to go over market stats or anything like that, but I am going to just mention one thing. So condo